Hey, this is Mrs. Cummings. So we already did in the last video you should have already watched. We already did numbers 1 through 6. I'm quickly going to read and set up the remaining problems so that you can finish them on your own. So from leaf, we should have then went to pi. So again, you're putting pi here up in the top, and you have to go down to the pi problem. The pi problem says the width of a rectangle is 8 2/3 inches. The length of the rectangle is twice its width. What is the perimeter? Remember, if we want the perimeter, it's all the way around the outside. So we have to add up the four sides. So first things first, I'm going to actually make a rectangle in my box. Easy for you to do. It says the width is 8 2/3. So I'm going to put 8 2/3 here. 8 2/3. I'm going to make that a little bit smaller so it doesn't take up my whole box. And if this side is 8 2/3, this side also has to be 8 2/3. So that means this is 2 times, it says this is twice, times 8 2/3. So that means this is also 2 times 8 2/3. So you are going to add up all these sides, and you're going to make sure you multiply these sides by 2 to figure out the actual length of each of these sides, and you're adding these four sides together to get the correct answer. If you do the correct answer, and remember you have to show all the work that you put in your calculator in your box, the next one you should go to is the gravy bowl. In the gravy bowl, it says, if I can ever find it, here it is. Mr. Hunter has $500 to spend at a bicycle store. He buys a new bicycle for $273.98. He buys 3 bicycle reflectors for $7.23 each. So remember, we're going to either have to add that together 3 times or times that number by 3. And he buys 1 bicycle helmet for $42.36. He plans to use the remaining money to buy new cycling outfits for $48.50 each. What is the greatest number of cycling outfits that Mr. Hunter can buy with the remaining money? We've got to do about 3 steps for this problem. We first have to add up together how much he spent. So Mr. Hunter bought a bunch of different things. So he bought $273.98 for a bike. He bought 3 reflectors, so we have to multiply this number by 3, which is $7.23. And then he also bought a bike helmet for $42.36. You need to figure out that answer. Once you figure out how much he has left, he had $500. So you're going to take away whatever you got for that answer to see how much you have left. The last step we're going to have to do is you're going to take, you're going to take this answer, how much money he has left, and you're going to take that answer and you then have to divide it by the $48.50 that it costs to buy a cycling outfit. This is going to give you a crazy decimal. You are going to round to the nearest whole number. He won't have enough to get that bigger number. He'll only have enough to get the smaller whole number. So whatever you get, you have to round it to that smaller whole number. That's how many outfits he can buy. Okay, so that's a 3-stepper. That one's pretty complex. Let me know if you need help with that one. All right, number 9 is corn. Again, you have to show all the work. You will not get credit if this work is not on your paper. This one, it says Dax, Jacoby, and Weston are rock climbing. Dax is 42.5 feet below Jacoby. Weston is 67 and 3/4 feet above Dax. What is the difference in Weston and Jacoby's position? So for this one, you're taking, we don't know. We're going to end up taking what Weston and Dax are, because we want to find the difference between Jacoby and Weston. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be finding the difference, and we're going to say we have 67 and 3/4, and we're minusing the 42.5. And again, you're doing that in your calculator and you'll get it. And the reason that works out is because if I have a line here, I've got a line here, and I've got, let's just say, we've got, this is Weston up here, and Jacoby, we don't know this, but Jacoby is right here. So we don't know the difference between those two. That's what we're trying to find. Okay, but we know that we know this distance, the whole distance is 67 and 3/4 between Weston and Dax. Dax is down here, and we know this distance, which is 42.5. So we're just trying to, this is not the most elegant thing I wrote ever. So we know this Jacoby and Dax are 42.5, and we know Weston and Dax are 67 3/4. If we find the difference, it'll give us the distance between Weston and Jacoby right here. So that's why we're finding the difference. Okay. So the next one, if you did that one correctly, should be the football. Remember, you have to show the work or you're not going to get the credit. If you're going down to the football says, Ari's goal is to run a total of 22 miles in 5 days. The table shows her log from the number of miles she ran on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. How many miles must Ari run on Friday to reach her goal? Well, what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to see how many miles she has already run. So we're going to have to actually total them all up. And then we're going to have to find out how many she still has left by taking 22 miles and subtracting the total we already have to see how many miles she has left to run. So when you're doing this, you're going to, in your calculator, you're going to be adding 4 and 3/4. You're going to be adding 5 and 1/8. And you're going to be adding 0. And you're going to be adding 6 1/4. And you're going to say what that equals. That's going to give you a total. Then you're going to take 22 and you're going to minus whatever you got for that. And it's going to equal your answer. Okay. You need to show that work in order to get the credit. Make sure you do that. The next one is the pumpkin. For the pumpkin, it says Helena is snorkeling at a position of 26.75 meters below sea level. What kind of number would that be? She descends 0.25 meters each minute for 18 minutes. What is Helena's position compared to sea level after 18 minutes? So again, first you have to figure out if she's going down, it's negative 0.25 times 18 because she's doing that every minute for 18 minutes. So how we're going to set this up. So that one's going to be negative 0.25 times 18 minutes. And what does that equal? It's going to give you a negative number. Then you're going to add where she started, which was negative 26.75. And we're going to add, because she's going down, negative 4.5. Or, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have told you that. You need to figure that part out for yourself. So whatever answer you got here, you're adding it to this part here. I don't like that. There we go. And you're going to get your final answer there. All right, and then if you do that one correctly, it should bring you to the Native American girl. And for that one, the Native American girl, that was the one where it says the table below shows the change in price per gram of gold each day for a week. On Sunday, the price of 1 gram of gold was $38.82. By how much does the gold price of 1 gram of gold change from Sunday until the end of the day on Friday? So for this one, you're going to basically be Sunday, change on Sunday until the end of the day, Friday. This is where it's starting, and then you're adding or subtracting. You're basically finding the total for all of these things. All right, so we're starting here, and then you're adding 4.2 because that's a 4.12. You're adding another 4.12. You're adding a negative 3.22. You're adding a negative 3.22, and then you're adding a negative 5.37. So you're taking the total, which is $34. $34.82, and then you're adding, it was a positive, but they did that twice, so that was 2 times in a row, and then you're subtracting 3.22 because it was a negative, and that happened twice, and then you're also subtracting, because this was a negative, 5.37. And then that will kind of give you your total if you put that whole thing in your calculator. Make sure you do it right. Make sure you use parentheses. When you're done, make sure you showed all the work, and you will be turning it in.